We welcome you to Madison, Wisconsin. It's volleyball on BTN, and it's powered by American Ethanol, the 9th top 10 matchup of the season within the Big Ten. Number 5 Nebraska, the defending national champions, here on the road to square off with number 9 Wisconsin. Let's get you the starting lineups powered by American Ethanol. For Wisconsin, Dana Retke in the middle, Madison Duello the opposite. Those are the top 2 attackers for the Badgers. Then for Nebraska, which comes in with that number 5 national ranking, couple senior stars, the outside hitter Michaela Fecke and the libero Kenzie Maloney to power the Cornhuskers, who of course have won 2 of the last 3 national titles. Laura Bush, Mike Monaco, our entire BTN crew. And Laura, we are fired up for this one. Both these teams top 10 in the country, but within the Big Ten. This is really important. We're coming up on the midway point of the season. These teams are jockeying for positioning.
Well, as we talked about in our opening, both of these teams do not have a lot of seniors playing for them or even on their roster. So they're still learning how much each of their squads can improve and adapt and get better in the second half of the Big Ten while they're finishing up this first half.
Between John Cook and Kelly Sheffield, just 3 senior starters on the floor tonight as we get underway. Nebraska in the red, Wisconsin in the white. A big swing from Madison Duello, the redshirt junior from Kansas City, who's having a breakout season, hitting .352.
She is really, I can't say coming into her own because she's quite an experienced player, but I like how dynamic she is all across the net. We're going to see her hitting on the left side, on the right side, as well as taking some sets out of the middle part of the net.
Sydney Hilly is the setter for Wisconsin. She served. Big swing from Jazz Sweet, dug out in the back by Molly Haggerty. Maloney digs it. Lexi's son was trying to track it down, and it's a good start for Wisconsin at home.
Well, Kelly Sheffield talked a lot in practice today about how strong Nebraska's defense is, and that his team is going to have to be capable of taking a lot of swings at the ball to break down the Nebraska defense.
And Nebraska leads the country in opponent hitting percentage. Cross-court swing is long from Jazz Sweet, searching for the corner.
This is a nice rotation for Nebraska. This rotation 1 with Fecke over there on the right front and Jazz Sweet on the left front. Lots of options to set.
Kelly still serving for the Badgers. Nicklin Haynes is the freshman setter for Nebraska, stepping into the spot vacated by the graduated All-American Kelly Hunter. There's Haynes with the back set for Fecke, the senior All-American. Bump set from Sydney Hilly. A lot of swings early on for Duello. Back set again to Fecke for the kill. Senior out of West Point, Iowa, has had an excellent career.
She does such a good job of staying focused throughout the transition. You would expect that from a senior, and also being able to find the open spot on the opponent's court.
Fecke's the best server as well for Nebraska, and she's behind the line. Sydney Hilly sets Duello again. Tiffany Clark's the libero for Wisconsin. In. Another kill for Duello, who has 3 already on 4 swings.
I like that we're seeing her take those shots on the left side, and that's a high, hard, and deep shot past the Nebraska defense in that left back corner.
Haynes kept it alive at the net. Haggerty. And she's called for the double contact that she was trying to set. So this Nebraska team is 15-3 overall this season and 6-2 in the Big Ten. They're coming off a 5-set loss on the road on Saturday in State College against Penn State. Kenzie Maloney, the senior from Louisville. Molly Haggerty. Grace Loberg sets the outside. Couple swings here for Haggerty on the pin. Fecke. Change up on the back row attack. Clark got it. Kept alive by Wisconsin. Wow, Loberg out of the back. Big swing is down from Lexi's son. And what an excellent rally early on here in the field house.
was a great shot by Fecky. I think her timing was a little off, but Lexi Sun was right there to take that over dig and then manage the final kill for the point.
I mean, how about that? Hilly, Clark, Loberg, you could take any of the three who had great contact to keep that alive. Set in the middle, and Wisconsin. They teed up Danielle Hart, one of the middles who comes off the bench. Dana Retke, the sophomore, first-team All-American last year, serves. Hilly sends the free ball over. Hames sets the middle. Big swing from Lauren Stivrins, the redshirt sophomore. Sun. Tiana Williams holding her ground on the block from Wisconsin. Bump set for Jazz Sweet. Bump set out of the back row, Haggerty. Nice job by Hames. Loberg to the right side for Hart, cross court. Jazz Sweet again. Great work in the back by Dana Retke. Cross court, Haggerty.
Well, this is kind of the rally we would expect to see from two top 10 teams, but really great patience by each team taking good swings, playing stellar defense, and Haggerty got the best of him in that sharp cross-court shot.
Hilly, the back set, into the block and out, point Badgers. Timeout, Nebraska. They average more than 7,000 fans in attendance here in Madison, Wisconsin to watch the Badgers inside this historic venue. Watching their number 9th ranked team in the country against the defending national champion Cornhuskers. Been a good start for the Badgers and a good tip on that right side from Jazz Sweet, the sophomore from Tecumseh, Kansas, into a bigger role this season.
And I would imagine that play, I mean, you know, each team by now has every opponent in the Big Ten scouted well, and I'm sure that was on the scouting report of this is an option of getting a kill, just tipping right behind the Wisconsin block.
Sweet's kill ended a 3-0 Wisconsin run. Amy Densberger serving for Nebraska. Haggerty's blocked. Lauren Stivrins fired up in the middle.
Really nice swing, and what a great block by Stivrins to stop that attack from crossing the net.
She's only a redshirt sophomore, but she's one of the leaders on this team that has just the two seniors. Dug out by Densberger, Hames to the dump. Free ball on the way. Hames, back set, Stivrins on the slide. Bump set from Loberg. On the overpass, Danielle Hart picks up her 3rd kill already on 5 swings. Emmy Dodge back in for the Badgers, the junior from East Troy, Wisconsin. One of the captains on this team. Haggerty defended the tip try well from Stivrins. Lexi Sun winds up. Transfer from Texas. She's a sophomore. She missed the first 8 matches, and she's really settling into the Nebraska lineup.
Well, what a smart swing by her. It's almost as if she had that shot planned before she went up to hit it, that she could use that outside hand of the right side blocker with those Sydney Hilly and get a nice shot off those hands to lead to a kill.
I saw her recent numbers. She had 20 kills on Saturday in that 5-set match against Penn State. Hilly sets Haggerty. Good coverage off the block by Dodge. Tough free ball, nearly scraped the video board. Stivrins off speed. She was denied by the Wisconsin block.
Stivrins did a really nice move prior to that on the block by having her inside hand drop over on that sharp angle, but just wasn't able to convert. that recovery into a kill.
Look, we talked about setting the middle. Nebraska has gone to its middles here early on in set one. Stivrins again on the slide. Hilly to the dump. She's always been an offensive setter. She loves that, picks her spots well.
Well, Nebraska was getting into a little bit of a rhythm defensively. You know, hey, the second ball is going to be set, but instead, Hilly must have known that the defense wasn't established, wasn't being disciplined, which we talked about earlier, and took advantage of it.
Service error from Wisconsin, the first on either side. It's been a fast start to this one here in Madison. Talked about Nebraska coming off that loss Saturday. Only their second Big Ten setback so far this season, and Wisconsin coming off a loss as well against Illinois over the weekend. Stivrins with the service error for Nebraska. Nebraska serves really tough. We've talked about that all season, and it's something we'll see if Wisconsin can do more of. They're going to try to follow the same script that Minnesota had a couple weeks ago out in Lincoln. Big swing from one of the middles. Again, it's Callie Schwarzenbach. Told you about her in the open. The freshman middle, 6'5". John Cook calls her a baby giraffe.
What a nice play. Really good first contact by Maloney, and just a nice choice by Hames to get those middles involved, spread the blockers from Wisconsin, allow her to have a lot of space to swing into.
Another freshman behind the line. Hames serves. Really nice set. That's Hilly to Retke, sophomore to sophomore.
Well, that's a lot to handle back there in middle back. And, you know, Retke's got a lot of power, but she's also able to hit it a little bit off perfect. It kind of skips off the hand, makes it hard to handle off the platform, and that's where Lexi Sun found herself.
405 hitting percentage for Dana Retke. It only trails Taylor Morgan, who's having an excellent season at Minnesota. Another service error for the Badgers, who, again, they want to serve aggressively. That's part of the recipe tonight. There's Michaela Fecky for the Huskers. Good back set from Hilly, kept alive off the block. Jazz Sweet. Nebraska in system, Lexi Sun. Her third kill, a team high.
Lexi Sun has been able to use a lot of shots throughout this season. We're going to see her hit hard, hit all range of the court, but also take some speed off, do some off-speed shots as well as tip over the block. And it just wasn't a well-formed block by Wisconsin, and she took advantage of it.
Fecky with the service error. One of the seniors taking her team on the road here to Madison. Good serve from Duello. Sweet into the block.
Well, that's a tough ball to get success on. And what Nebraska is going to want to see from their middles is just get up in the air. Start holding that middle blocker. Make Wisconsin's middles have to start thinking about attack out of Nebraska's middles, just so the pins don't have a big wall in front of them with four hands.
Third block for Wisconsin. Nebraska was out of system. Sun got another swing. Duello again. They do go to the middle with Schwarzenbach. Hames tries Sun again. Good start to this one for Lexi Sun on the left side.
She's probably going to see a lot of balls come her way, just like any pin hitter does. But really good footwork by her in transition, getting back and able to take a nice, strong approach, get up on the ball, hit high off the hands of the Wisconsin blockers.
Her first year in the Big Ten, what have you thought of Lexi Sun coming over from Texas?
Well, I think she's everything what everyone thought of her when she's coming out of high school. I mean, she's a 6-rotation outside hitter. I mean, that's a premium recruit to get, let alone have a player on your team who can do that. But she's managing that pressure pretty well, I think. I mean, that's a tough spot to be in on a big load. I mean, you're transferring out of Texas, which is a really good program, coming into the #1 program in the nation and having a large role in its success. And she's managing all of that well from what I can see on the sidelines.
Sun, one of the outside hitters, 4 kills, some digs as well. It was Jazz Sweet on the opposite side that got Nebraska back within 3. Maloney, a tough server as well for the Cornhuskers. Digs that one out right to Hames. Loberg sets Hart. Hames to the middle for Stivrins. Bump set from Clark. Haggerty. Hames to the back row for Fecky. Stivrins got a piece of it off the block. Jazz Sweet.
Really good rallies here on both sides of the net, but it's impressive after all those hits and movement. Jazz Sweet takes that strong crack at the ball and gets it through the Wisconsin block.
Kenzie Maloney, a service error. 5 combined, 3 of them off the arms of Nebraska. John Cook's team has been great serving all season. Lead the Big Ten in aces per set. That's 9th in the country, their mark of 1.76 aces per set. Sun off the mark, and the point to the Badgers. First time these teams are matching up this season. Both of them, of course, as is the norm in the Big Ten, have really played challenging schedules. Jazz Sweet and Lexi Sun each with 4 kills of the 10 so far for Nebraska.
Well, and doing well on this service line is going to be important for Nebraska. I mean, it's one thing about being aggressive, and they're also in a big match in the opponent's gym on the road. It's trying to find a rhythm back there that's tough but not reckless. And you're just going to have to work through that.
Another error, however. Haley Densberger this time, the sophomore from Malcolm, Nebraska. There were some errors down the stretch for John Cook's team Saturday against Penn State. That was a really good match. Went 5 sets, like we said, in State College. Stivrins winds up. The overpass is out. Point to Nebraska.
It's almost as she looks like she just needed that. I needed to get that kill. It worked her way, and they're happy that it went out of bounds on their side of the net.
Stivrins out of Arizona. She's 4th in the Big Ten in hitting percentage, and she pairs up with Schwarzenbach. Haggerty, glass one right at Maloney. Bump set from Fecky. Gianna Williams, the only senior starter, the only senior on the roster for Wisconsin. Loberg out of the back row. Haven't called her name a whole lot just yet. Kept alive. Hames, Stivrins again. Pancake by Clark. Point goes to Nebraska. I think the Huskers thought they had it before the pancake, but Wisconsin giving up the body.
Really nice hustle back there by Tiffany Clark to keep that ball alive. And regardless of Nebraska thinking it went down or not, the ball still went their way. Still a point.
If you majored in lip reading, you could tell that Stivrins certainly thought it was down. Hard-fought effort from the Badgers as well. So 18-16 Wisconsin in set 1. Kelly Sheffield said, we got to be ready for the grind against Nebraska. They're so good defensively. We're going to have some longer rallies. Be ready for that. Off the antenna, so another service error. This one from Lexi Sun, and it's 5 in set 1 for the Huskers.
If you're on the Nebraska bench as a coaching staff, you're just going to have to ride this game out. They're only 3 points behind. It doesn't feel, it feels a lot farther behind than that, I imagine, if you're a coach or maybe even a player right now. But you work your way through it, find yourself in a rhythm, see how you can finish this set. You can still win it, it's still really close. And allow yourself to be really ready for the second set.
Hames to Fecky. Good adjustment by Williams. Hames to the dunk. Good coverage from Emmy Dodge. Cross court out. Madison Duello just off target. Her first error. You're right. If you're in Nebraska, you've had 5 service errors. You typically serve so tough. You don't have an ace served yet, and you're only down 2.
Well, and the serving stub for Lauren Stiverins is just trying to get something going to earn some points off your own serve for Nebraska.
Another service error, however. Megan Miller, the freshman from Alexandria, Indiana, not far from Indianapolis. A top 60 recruit in the country with this one.
Well, that can be a little frustrating for everybody right now on the service line. They're just going to have to manage those emotions and fight through and do some other things really well.
John Cook often says about his team, he actually thinks sometimes they might perform a little bit better on the road than at home because of the big crowds and all the expectations in Lincoln. Schwarzenbach gets going for Nebraska.
That was a nice first contact back there by Nebraska to allow that offense to be a lot more diversified than what we've seen in the past. It's good to see Callie Schwarzenbach in the offense.
Crowd stirring to life a bit here in Madison. Good pass from Haggerty. Duello. Off the overpass. Point Nebraska to get within 1.
Well, Nebraska's made a decision that they're going to send 2 blockers over with Retke wherever she goes. That left Duello one-on-one. Still couldn't find the floor. That's a little frustrating as a hitter, but really good play by Nebraska at that point. It's a big time in the match to start closing that gap between the 2 teams.
So John Cook's team on the move. Kelly Sheffield takes his first timeout here in set 1. It's the Badgers up on Nebraska. Nebraska head coach John Cook pointed this out us today at Serve and Pass. This is part of a 6-week stretch in which there is always a top 10 opponent on the Nebraska schedule.
Well, and it's a tough stretch. I mean, after he said it to us, we know how coaches can be. Like, are we playing this up a little too much? Everyone else is having a tough time as well. But he's right. They have a 6-week stretch of there are no breaks. And he has a young team to go into it with as well.
We're the fact-checking committee here on BTN. Laura Bush, Mike Monaco, our whole BTN crew in Madison for this one. Another service error. This one from Nicklin Hames, and that is 7 for John Cook's bunch.
Well, on this Wisconsin side, they're thinking that was a great timeout. They got a point out of that timeout, which is what they wanted as well as needed.
So the Badgers by 2. Sydney Hilly serves. Hames back set to Fecky. Duello winds up, finds hands, gets the kill. Well, we've talked about how good this serving team typically is for Nebraska. Just over 2 service errors per set tonight here in set 1, 7 already, like we said. Hames had to get her feet to it. Free ball from Jazz Sweet. Hilly sets the middle to Retke for the kill. You said it, Nebraska's throwing a lot of blockers at Dana Retke, so Hilly goes quick to the middle.
Well, and she's just going to be hard to stop, regardless how many blockers going to be at Retke. And that was a really nice crossbody shot. Really good swing. Tough defense behind that block for Nebraska.
Dana Retke, the 6'8", who was the National Freshman of the Year last season. These are her numbers in the 2 matches last year when she was a true freshman against this Huskers squad. 11 kills the first time out. And then in October, when Wisconsin won here in Madison against Nebraska, she had 12 and 7 blocks.
Well, we're going to see her play really well tonight. I mean, every match I've watched her play against tough competition, she rises to the occasion, and she carries the team on her back, not just by how she plays, but by her emotional leadership. I mean, she's fiery out there. She's pumping a fist. She's turning back to her team and celebrating, whether it's because she's the one doing it or whether it's her teammates are also making the play happen.
Well, we mentioned the 2 matches last year between these 2 programs. The Cornhuskers were rolling, but they came in here to Madison, and the Badgers got the win against this Nebraska squad, and it would be the last loss that Nebraska had in its national title season.
And they must have had a short memory about that loss because they went right on really well to finish the rest of the Big Ten and then go into the NCAA tournament.
4-set win for the Badgers. They were fired up in that one. Retke, Duello, they were the stars in that match. And this year, when you look at the Wisconsin distribution of attacks offensively, those are the two leading it, not any of the lefts.
Yeah, the lefts for the Wisconsin team seem to be more like stabilizers. Make sure you keep us in the game. Get the swings when they're there. Don't take reckless swings. But the kills and the powerful part of the offense is coming behind the setter or in front of the setter in the middle. And that's kind of rare. But it works. And you put the offense out there that's going to get you points and also win matches.
Efficient start for Dana Retke so far. Hilly hasn't gone to her a ton out of the gates in set one. Hilly serves, 23-19 Wisconsin. Good job at the net by Hilly to get that back to Retke. And the error from the sophomore middle. Michaela Fecke, an excellent server for Nebraska. To the middle for Dana Retke, and it sets up set point for the Badgers. There's Duello. Bump set from the libero Clark. Haynes, right side, off the block, and Wisconsin takes set one. This place is rocking. The UW Fieldhouse and the Badgers, the number 9 team in the country, take set one from the defending national champs. There are 7 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 25 across the country. There's not a lot of senior starters, including liberos, on those teams. This is the breakdown of those 7 teams, how many seniors they start.
Well, and what's impressive about this, or really noticeable, is how many youngsters are leading some top 10 teams, and let alone the top teams in the Big Ten right here. And Kelly Sheffield brought this to our attention. We had a discussion about how, going into, the second half of the Big Ten season, or finishing the first half of the Big Ten season, how do we manage our teams to grind it out for another 6 weeks, couple of months?
And for both these coaches, Kelly Sheffield said it can go one of 2 ways. Maybe with a young team, you can get a little bit worn down at this time of the year, or you can keep everyone fresh. And because everyone's so young, there could be a ton of growth that happens, learning, and these teams could be ascending.
And it's a lot of, I think, management by the staff as well, keeping people engaged, making sure they feel like they matter, making sure, hey, you're still going to class, you're still getting enough sleep, or you're still eating well. Because for young players, this is a brand new experience for them. I mean, you can talk about the Big Ten, but there's nothing like it until you experience it.
So Penn State was the leader on that nice bar graph. We like our math here. We're having fun with the bar graph. Penn State, though, even them, 3 senior starters, but one of them is a grad transfer. One of them's been injured, missed some time. Nia Reed, she's stepping into that starring role for the first time. So it's a really young conference, especially at the top. Wisconsin took set 1. Here we are in set 2 in Madison. Good start for Madison, Duello, and the Badgers. They hit 220 in set 1, but they were pretty low error, both serving and attacking.
Well, and half the points for Wisconsin came from unearned points. Those are points that Nebraska gave them: 6 hitting errors, 7 service errors. Wisconsin didn't have to do anything to earn those points, and that's a tough place to dig yourself out of for Nebraska that they're going to have to find their way through to be successful tonight.
Well, it's our first ace serve of the night for either side from Molly Haggerty.
Well, they're really trying to serve those gaps in Nebraska, get them out of system, make Hames have to run around the court and limit what she can set.
Kelly Sheffield thinks Molly Haggerty right now is serving as well as maybe anyone in the entire conference. Fecke. She wound up for it, and the point goes to Nebraska.
Nice defense by Lexi Sun, but good swing by Fecke. She found that gap, sent it to the sideline, got a little bit of a break as well with Wisconsin hitting the net.
Got it Duello for the Badgers. Well, he tried to keep it alive off the pass. And the point goes to Nebraska to pull even at the outset of set 2. You just joined us late, tuning into this one for some Friday night volleyball action here in the Big Ten. Might have missed set 1, in which Nebraska had the 7 service errors and no ace serves. Duello off the mark.
Still early in the second set, but what we didn't see from Wisconsin in the first set that really put pressure on Nebraska, besides Nebraska having to compete against themselves to figure out a rhythm, is Wisconsin didn't make a lot of errors. We're starting to see the passing get a little bit out of system for Wisconsin, as well as some hitting errors that we didn't see a lot in the first set.
Good work by Nebraska at the net, and then a net fault call. So 3-3 as the Badgers pull level. Let's have another look.
Jazz Sweet was getting a little greedy up there, wanted to get that ball before Hilly could take it, but Hilly's really good up at the net, saving those balls and making a good play out of a not so great pass.
Aim set the middle. One-on-one, Retke and Schwarzenbach, the one we started this broadcast talking about. Back set to Sweet. Off the antenna, point Badgers.
Well, that's a big block up there, and I think Sweet was trying to avoid it and just thread that needle between the hands of Duello and the antenna, and that's a tough place to hit and be successful.
Other side, Sun into the block of the Badgers. Dana Retke standing tall.
And we knew she could control the net defensively, and she's starting to show up right now.
You talked about the emotion that you sometimes see as Clark commits the service error. You love that emotion from someone like Dana Retke, and you see it all over this Wisconsin team. We noticed it at practice earlier today, too.
There's a really fun energy, and it's not a judgment. It's just, every team has their personality and their culture, and Wisconsin came in, they were talking, they were laughing. I mean, they were still serious and getting a lot of reps in. But Dana Retke, she can just fire up this team, and I like that she turns it back to her team versus looking at the opponent. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, but I like how she brings it back to her team and gets her team engaged in the competitive fire that she likes to exhibit.
And then it sets up Duello. Off the hands, Badgers up by 2. Sydney Hilly serving. Jazz Sweet with the kill. Danielle Hart couldn't keep it up. Hey, tomorrow on BTN, Michaela Fecke and Nebraska continues its tough road trip in Minneapolis. A showdown against number 3 Minnesota. It's Big Ten volleyball. Powered by American Ethanol. It continues right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. We're going to be following John Cook and company out to Minneapolis, your home city. That should be an excellent match tomorrow night. Top 5 showdown between a couple teams that just met 2 weeks ago out in Lincoln.
And I think John Cook has his hands full right now in this match. He's not even thinking about Minneapolis yet.
From a coaching perspective, of course, they've already been diving into the scouting on Minnesota earlier in the season, so they could devote a lot of their attention to Wisconsin this week. Out of the middle for Wisconsin to go back up by 1.
I like how Sydney Hilly is just finding a way to get the ball to Retke. The pass doesn't have to be perfect. Retke gets herself in a position to be available. Hilly's able to find her.
Sydney Hilly coming up on 2,000 career assists. Sophomore setter to the middle again for Dana Retke. 5 kills now on 7 swings for the sophomore.
That's a really indefensible play, I think. You have a middle like that. She's long. She's able to hit really hard, and then she takes a little bit off, but able to. It's not throwing the ball down, but directing it very firmly to the floor.
Duello serve off the tape on the joust. Haynes wins it for Nebraska.
Good joust right here, and those setters are savvy. They know how to push second against the block and win, regardless of the size of the block across the net against them.
Ames, of course, the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, number 4 overall recruit in the country. Kelly's bump set to Haggerty. Good pass from Sun. Line shot from Fecky. Danielle Hart had it blocked. Too many contacts from the Badgers, a double contact call. Lexi Sun serving. Good pass from Haggerty. Hart on the slide was blocked. Michaela Fecky for Nebraska.
It's a one-on-one block out there, and she was able to get her feet into a good spot, drop her hands inside cross court, take away the angle that Hart wanted to attack.
Nebraska's second in the Big Ten in blocks per set at 2.86. They're top 10 in the country in that regard as well. And the Cornhuskers have their first ace serve of the night, coming up on the midway point of set 2. So Nebraska is on a run, and it means Kelly Sheffield wants a timeout. Huskers by 2 in set 2. Kelly Sheffield's Wisconsin Badgers took set 1 here at home against Nebraska. Cornhuskers up by 2 early on in set 2, and we've seen some shifting pieces for the Badgers so far tonight, and Kelly Sheffield juggling things a little bit.
Well, it's that time of the season. You're either adding wrinkles to your serve receive or to your offense. Some people are developing and expanding their roles, and we're seeing Duello play opposite Haggerty tonight on the left side. Hart's coming in right side, which is opposite Hilly. And then Loberg isn't really playing front row. She's coming in back row for Duello, which she knows how to play 6 rotations. But it's just a little bit of different look than what we normally see. And it's that time of year that you start seeing some changes in what teams are doing.
Well, amid all of that, Nebraska is on the 5-0 scoring run. He was blocked in the middle. Haggerty off the hands of Haynes. Point goes to the Badgers. Net call went against Haynes. Here's Retke. She has stepped up her serving ability this year. Blocked by the Badgers. Danielle Hart, Tiana Williams side by side.
And that's a big block. Hart puts up a huge wall over there. Tiana Williams was able to get her feet next to Hart, put up 4 hands in front of Fecky.
Retke with the service error. That's the 4th for the Badgers. Kelly Sheffield has liked what he's seen from his team serving this year. He does feel like they still have room to grow, but Retke's someone last year as a freshman in terms of the percentage of serves she hit in. Low 80s. This year she's into the 90s.
Well, that's just some good coaching by Kelly Sheffield and staff, right? And Retke maturing a little bit, understanding competition. And there she is getting a nice kill.
Badgers within 1. How about Danielle Hart out of the middle?
She is such a fun player to watch as they move her around the net. And it's nice to see her to be able to take that quick, also be able to take that right side attack when they push her back to the pin.
Hart, the redshirt freshman from Virginia Beach, took the redshirt season last year. Was very amenable to that for Kelly Sheffield and his staff. Good serve by the Badgers. Great student section, as always, inside the field house. Fun atmosphere tonight. Here's Emmy Dodge. A tough serve, forced Densberger to pass it. Dug out by Tiffany Clark. Dodge's bump set. Free ball from Haggerty. Outside Fecky, tip at the net. Haggerty cross court.
Really nice pickup by Clark. It wasn't a perfect dig, which it shouldn't have to be, because Wisconsin was able to manage that second contact out of system. Haggerty took a nice crack at it. Really good dig to kill.
Timeout, John Cook and Nebraska. The Badgers on a run. 3-0 run to go up by 1. Tiffany Clark of Wisconsin headlights tonight's State Farm State of Success. These are her dig totals last weekend. 21 in just 3 sets. That win against Northwestern a week ago Friday, and then against Illinois, a career high 26 digs. She is fully back into that libero jersey.
Well, she took a little bit of break. Kelly Sheffield was shaking up his lineup a little bit, got her settled down is what he said, and she's starting to play within herself versus trying to do too much, which makes any player not be very successful with the skill set that they currently own.
Yeah, it was about a match and a half where Emmy Dodge took over that libero jersey, and Clark is focused on slowing things down. Slow down the heart rate. She's listening to soothing music before matches, not getting all amped up like we were before tonight's match. And she's been really good in the back row the last few weeks. Attack error from Nebraska. They didn't think so. And John Cook gets the green card out, thinking that there was a touch at the net.
Well, the Nebraska players seem very confident that there is a touch call, and I always find that pretty interesting about how players communicate to their coaches, and then the coaches making the decision on whether to use that challenge or not. That net cam video did look like the ball flipped up on the net cam video. The one from the inline, I couldn't see it.
So it is a touch. Credit net cam there, point to Nebraska, and a successful green card usage from John Cook. Let's try it again right here.
And that ball will go up just a little bit after it crosses the net. Well, after it hits Hilly's hands, just a little bit, enough to be noticeable. Good use of the challenge.
Yeah, and an important swing there. Cook with 2 left. If we go to 5 sets, each team gets another challenge under the challenge review system in college volleyball. So 13 all here at the midway point of set 2. Haim serves. Blocked off the slide. Great work by Fecky again. She paired up with Schwarzenbach.
Nice set by Hilly, taking that to her side, but Fecky's such a big blocker out there. She's able to press those hands in, take out the angle of that slide hitter, doesn't leave a lot of room to hit into.
Nebraska's been such a good defensive team. The pass from Clark. Williams blocked again. Clark kept it up. Haggerty tried the corner. Now Fecky. Another kill for Michaela Fecky. So she goes block, kill, and a good swing here for Nebraska.
What a nice series for her, and what a way to battle. Good stop on that last block, but she's gonna play some defense right here and then get the final swing to finish the play.
Just tools the hands of the block of Sydney Hilly. Haggerty. Talked about it. You don't see a heavy emphasis on the left sides at all times for Wisconsin, but Molly Haggerty, a couple years removed from being the Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Well, what a nice set selection by Sydney Hilly, moving that outside set a little bit in, changing the location of the block so that right side block for Nebraska has to move inside, and then she was able just to chop it back over his shoulder to the right back corner of Nebraska. Tough spot to hit and good play by her.
Tough to stare down a big swing like that from Callie Schwarzenbach. That's her third kill. 6 swings, no errors for the freshman. Good run from Nebraska earlier in this set to get going, but a service error from Fecky. The 8th tonight and the first one in set 2.
Well, you shake that off pretty fast by a good pass and a quick kill on a first thrust offense.
See if Nebraska can do that. Here's Tiffany Clark. Bump set from Fecky to Lexi Sun. She got going early, a little bit quiet since. Right back at Schwarzenbach, sent over by Maloney. Kenzie Maloney, the libero kill.
What a great reaction by her. You know, Retke just puts her arms up, is able to shove that ball right back, sticks out an arm, goes over for a kill. No coach plans for that. They don't like it, but a point is a point.
We'll see what Kelly Sheffield wants to challenge here. Kelly Sheffield wants to challenge a potential net violation here on Nebraska. Ames was pretty close.
I see the ball hitting the net. She is over right there. Her right foot is over the net. Over that center line. But I don't know if it disrupted play or caused any danger and players being around it.
And the net certainly shook, but that was from the ball coming over off the tape when Wisconsin sent it right back at Nebraska. If you're wondering, Kelly Sheffield is also not someone to use a timeout or a challenge as a timeout. He told us that today. That's something he has not done in his career, though he's thinking about it in the future, perhaps.
And he wished he would have used it at one time, he shared. But he also could just be telling us that. Who knows? Who knows what's up any coach's sleeve?
Point does stay with Nebraska. Unsuccessful challenge from Kelly Sheffield. Laura Bush always has the skeptical eye. So good run here for the Cornhuskers in set 2. Cleaned up those service errors that plagued them in set 1. Kenzie Maloney. Tough serve down the line. Hilly to the dunk. Did that just one time in set 1. Hilly to Duello. Off the block of Jazz Sweet, one-on-one against Madison Dweller.
Well, again, we're seeing the Nebraska block following Retke wherever she goes, and Jazz Sweet has been schooled about what angle you're going to take away from Duello. Really nice setup by her, pressed over, low and over, took care of it.
So in that case, you're talking about Stivrins going to the outside where Retke was on the slide. You see Wisconsin use that all the time. That puts a lot of pressure on Jazz Sweet going one-on-one there.
Well, they're hedging their bets. They think the ball's going to be going into Retke. They want to slow that down. They think that they can take on the other pin hitter right now, which is Duello, one-on-one, and that proved really well. They may also change up that blocking scheme as the match goes along. Just show a different look each time. They might have a blocking read on what happens out of timeout versus what happens after someone gets blocked. All that stuff is scouted by every opponent.
5 blocks this match for Nebraska, 4 of them here in set 2, and it's a team that has really good defensive numbers, the lowest opponent hitting percentage in the entire country. And then in terms of blocks per set, they're 2nd in the conference, 9th in the country.
Well, and that puts a lot of pressure on any offense that you're playing. And we heard Kelly Sheffield talk about this with his team. They're going to have to learn to grind and be patient. Take the swings when they're there, but don't force anything to allow for unforced errors and easy points by Nebraska. And Wisconsin did an impeccable job of that in the first set. We're starting to see things settle down in the second set. The Huskers are starting to serve a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. Probably not as clean as the Nebraska coaching staff would like, but we're also seeing how the offense can get a little stuck for Wisconsin at times, and they're not playing as perfectly. I mean, they were playing such clean volleyball in that first set. It would be tough for anybody to beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was just 3 attack errors for Wisconsin in set 1. Here in set 2, it's only 3 attack errors for Nebraska. Cornhuskers up by 3, 18-15, with Maloney still serving. Pass from Dodge, Duello. Maloney, the bump set to Lexi Sun. Tight set, dug out nicely by Haynes. Sun rises up again, off the tape and down. Lexi Sun the kill.
Haynes just charges out of this right back position, runs that down, hooks that ball back into the court. Good contact by Fecky to set it up for Lexi Sun, and I like that out of system. The Huskers are still taking really smart swings and getting rewarded for it.
Point goes to Nebraska. So the Huskers by 5, and Kelly Sheffield searching for some answers. A 4-0 scoring run. Maloney's still back there. Duello just tees off on Kenzie Maloney. Madison Duello's got a match-high 7 kills.
What a big jump by her. And she full extension right there and beats the hands of Jazz Sweet as the block goes over. Great swing.
It's a big jump. Madison Duello's got the best vertical on this Wisconsin team. 28.5 inches. She can touch 10-3. Shots out. Point Badgers back within 3.
Well, this is something John Cook just doesn't want to see. His team being, airing the other team back into this set.
Tough serve from Hilly. Lexi Sun. Kept alive by Sydney Hilly. Duello into the block. There's that Nebraska defense centrally with Stivrins and Sweet.
Really good eye work here right in front of that ball. It was a low hit ball, but they had that net penetrated, sealed with their arms. Nothing was going to get through the Nebraska block on that one.
Haley Densberger. So the service error. That looked very close from our vantage point.
That was a very tough call to make.
I think we'll see a green card here. And John Cook is forced to use another. He thinks so as well. What do you think?
That ball looks in to me. If any part of the ball is touching that line, it's in bounds. And that looks in to me.
I thought so in real time. I think so as well. On the serve from Haley Densberger.
It's also that the line judge is right there on that line looking at it straight ahead, and that can be just the millimeter that he would see that it's out versus what we can see from the front angle. And it's hard to see from that back angle, from the back side of the court.
This is more of the angle that you see as a line judge.
That is a tough call
That's
to make
really
right
close.
there.
So it is in. A serve from Haley Densberger. Boy, that is so close, right in the back. A tough serve. John Cook did have to use another green card. Here's one more look at the landing.
That's about as close as to being out without being out right there. Good use of the challenge by the Nebraska staff.
So he's used a couple of his 3 that he gets allotted, unless we go 5 sets. So for John Cook, we talked about the serving. 0 aces, 7 service errors set 1. 2 aces, only 2 service errors here in set 2.
Was starting to even out a little bit more. And when a team is used to getting points off of, not just kills, which Nebraska obviously is, but they're expecting about, a little over 1 point a set based on an ace, and all of a sudden they're giving away 7 points on a strength of serving that they're used to having. That puts a lot of pressure on a team in other parts of their games than what was not going as smoothly.
Another ace from Densberger. Grace Loberg comes into the back row for Wisconsin. Densberger goes right at her. To the middle. Hames to the outside, Lexi Sun. Bump set from Hilly. Loberg, roll shot, dug out Densberger. Back row attack, Becky into the block. Sun again. Big swing from Lexi Sun. Set point on the way for Nebraska.
You could hear the Nebraska staff yelling, cover, cover. Lexi Sun was going against a big wall up there with Retke and Hart. Nice swing by her to that back corner, and that's a tough ball to defend. Hitters like to hit it straight down, but the areas of the court that are open aren't always the ones that bring you a lot of glory.
She's got a match high 23 total attacks already. Hart. Hames right back to Sun into the block of the Badgers. Wisconsin not going down quietly, within 6 in set 2.
Really good dig. That ball was just a little tight to manage, and especially makes it really tough to manage when you're going up against a big block that Wisconsin presented.
Loberg checks back out. Madison Duello serves. Hames. Set up, Stivrins just off the mark on the slide. Badgers took the first set here in set 2 now. Hames back set, Stivrins again, off hands. Set goes to Nebraska to even this one up. We haven't seen anything on the Nebraska side really get going, and Wisconsin as well. It's Retke, and then otherwise from that, some low hitting percentages as well. Duello got off to a really fast start in set 1. She gets off to a good one here in set 3.
Well, I imagine right now Wisconsin has seen that both blockers in the front row for Nebraska are going to follow Retke. And that outside hitter, which is right now Duello, is going to be one-on-one, and they're just giving her the green light. Go for it. You're one-on-one. You got most of the court. Swing away.
Good back set for Hames. That's blasted long by Becky, who chuckles about it afterward.
That's not the contact she wanted, but it's nice to see a senior come down and say, hey, come on. We're okay. Shake it off pretty fast. Short memory.
Man, how often has she come up with big swings in her Nebraska career? Right back to her. Savvy move by the setter, Hames. Duello down the line. Big swing, kept alive, poked over by Schwarzenbach. Point goes to Nebraska.
Well, that was some fun volleyball right there. First contact over, back and forth, a little bit of ping pong.
Kenzie Maloney, Callie Schwarzenbach. Excellent work by them on the rally. Michaela Fecke. Hilly sets the middle for Dana Retke. Sweet had to adjust, couldn't get it over the net from outside the antenna.
I think it was a good choice by Hames to make that setter that decision. It just wasn't executed as cleanly as she would like.
Good pass from Maloney to the middle to Schwarzenbach. Ames tries Sun this time. Wrist away shot, good dig by Clark. And the point goes to Nebraska. Mackenzie Maloney following the double contact. Good tough serve. Clark stepped in front of Haggerty to take it. Haggerty down the line, dug by Haynes. Sun on a down ball, just got it off the tape and over. In. Kill for Dana Retke, her 6th.
Really nice dig by Haggerty right there. Keeps her platform together, plays the ball before she commits to the floor. And then the ball's got to go to Retke to finish that kill. She continues to deliver up at the net offensively.
From what you've seen from the Badgers offense, their attack tonight, what would you like to see maybe a little bit differently to try to get things going?
Well, they don't set the back row very much, and it's not like I can request that that's going to happen. It may just not be a part of their offense right now. You know, we're seeing Duello on the left side. We haven't seen her there very much. We're seeing Hart play, hitting out of the middle as well as the right side. I imagine they're still trying to figure out a little bit of their offense with this lineup.
Stivrins soars in the middle. Bump set from Hart and Hilly. And an attack error from Molly Haggerty. Yeah, we've seen a little bit of lineup shuffling this year, and sometimes it's Tiana Williams will come in on the right side. That'll shift things around. You'll get Hart in the middle. Sometimes when maybe you don't have Grace Loberg. But we haven't seen a whole lot of Williams either for Kelly Sheffield. She is in there now. Hilly to Hart. Hames sets the middle. Stivrins blocked. Sun this time. Hilly was racing to her. Haggerty took it instead. Maloney got a piece of it. Fecky keeps it up. Here's the free ball from Sun. Hilly, quick set to the middle for Williams. Sun rips it long.
Nice reaction and response by Maloney. Gets her hand underneath it, good play. Hames handles it. Just not the swing Sun wanted, but she took a lot of swings in that rally. I'm not sure if the middle wasn't available or Hames wasn't comfortable setting the middle.
She's got a match-high 28 total swings. Badgers up by 3 now at the start of set 3.
An area Kelly Sheffield said he wanted to attack against Nebraska is get Hames on the run based on the first contact on serve receive.
She sets this one nicely to Lexi Sun. Big time dig from Clark, but then Nicklin, Hames, and company have Nebraska back within 2.
The way to take care of that tight ball by Nicklin Haynes against a bigger opponent across the net. Handled herself well, got the ball to the floor.
First freshman full-time setter at Nebraska to step in since 2006. That was Rachel Holloway on a national championship team. Rachel Holloway was a redshirt freshman. Nicklin Haynes, the first true freshman setter in a 5-1 at Nebraska.
That is a big responsibility to hold, but she seems really capable of doing it. Owning that role, both playing the game, but also the leadership part of it offensively.
Fecky off the block and out, point to the Huskers.
Nice hustle there, and Wisconsin's playing lights out defense tonight. Good play out of system. For Nebraska, Fecky takes that hard hit with that. She's got a hefty arm, manages the ball well.
Ames's bump set. Fecky. Hilly lines it up for Haggerty for the kill. Molly Haggerty with her 5th.
Nice play by Wisconsin. Hilly getting her feet there, able to slide on her knees. High off the hands, just a little out of reach of the right back for Nebraska. Haggerty's having a nice night.
You see her numbers tonight. She's been pretty low error this season, even if the hitting percentage isn't sky high. Point to Nebraska's Stivrins on the slide.
Nice to see the middles getting involved with Nebraska, and Hames feeling confident setting them. Spread out that offense, make the Wisconsin block have to work.
Duello misfires. Hey, tomorrow BTN Tailgate is live right here in Madison. We've got Dave, Jerry, Howard, Spice, Michelle. They'll set the scene for an exciting day in the Big Ten. BTN Tailgate presented by TIAA tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern right here on BTN. You're right beside Camp Randall Stadium here inside the field house. Duello just off the mark again in the back. Didn't miss the line by a whole lot.
Well, this is a tough rotation right now. I mean, there's two primary hitters in the front row. Hilly really only has two players she can set because they don't set out of the back row. And it puts a lot of pressure on a hitter. We may see Hilly want to take the second contact over.
I'm not sure that wasn't worth a challenge for Kelly Sheffield and company. Hilly right back to Duello, off speed. Now Hames, there's a back row attack from Nebraska, but it's blocked. Tiana Williams in the middle.
Nice block by Wisconsin. 6 hands up there. Sealed that net. Not a lot of room for Sun to hit into.
Yeah, give it to Duello, lined up there against Lexi Sun. Hames, back set. Schwarzenbach is blocked. Another slide from the Huskers, handled well by the Badgers.
Oh, there's that Duello-Redke duo teaming up on that block, and they come down all fired up as they should. That was a great swing by Schwarzenbach, and it got stuffed pretty good.
Back-to-back blocks from Madison Duello. The other side this time from Becky. Bump set Hilly to Duello. Got the point. Off the hands, the touch, and the kill for Madison Duello.
Nice swing by her, high, hard, and deep. Good way to get a kill.
Tiffany Clark serving. Good tough serve there right at Sun. Densberger throws it over. Dana Retke just off the mark. It's really tough sledding offensively for both these teams. Nebraska with a 102 hitting percentage. Wisconsin a shade better at 105. Here's the freshman setter, Nicklin Hames. Good pass from Dodge. Retke this time again. Bump set Maloney. Back to her senior classmate, Fecky, for the kill. Michaela Fecky. And the Huskers even it up in set 3.
Nice out of system, second contact. And I'm really impressed with Wisconsin on their pursuit. They didn't get the first contact that they wanted on the dig, but I like how Haggerty still lays it out with intent to play the ball however she can.
How's that for senior leader Michaela Fecky, staying calm here in enemy territory in Madison. Duello answers right back for Wisconsin. Crowd coming to life. It's been really even since the tail end of set 1. Nebraska went on a run in set 2, created some separation. Hames got her feet to it. A bump set to Sweet, kept alive by Hilly. Bump set to the pin for Duello, into the block.
Nice play by Hilly. Just standing her ground, she's disciplining right back. Duello gets a nice swing, but it touches her on the way down as she comes off the attack.
Duello has been all sorts of involved here in set 3.
I think what they're discussing here is that Duello goes up and hits, goes up, gets to the Nebraska block. Block comes back, hits Duello before it hits the floor. Just grazed her.
Yeah, the signal was Nebraska point. Sydney Hilly sorting it out with Kelly Sheffield. We'll run it back here, the entire sequence.
You can see how that ball came off her body out of bounds.
As it was initially ruled, stays with the Huskers, and Fecky serves. Wisconsin out of system. Duello. Good dig by Maloney. Fecky out of the back row. Hilly quick dump, handled by Nebraska. Double contact called on Hilly. Kelly Sheffield cannot believe it. Sydney Hilly, one of the captains, though just the sophomore. She heads over to our R1 to get the explanation who made the call.
Well, if anything, I thought Sydney Hilly might get called because she was above the net, but she obviously wasn't.
Duello with the attack error. Point to Nebraska, a chance to see some momentum going back again to this call on Hilly.
And the up official saw 2 contacts. That's the way they have to call it. If they see 2 contacts on the ball, they have to say it's 2 hits.
And with that set up on the dump, is that the right call in your mind? Putting you on the spot.
You are putting me on the spot. I did not see 2 contacts, but I also have a different vantage point than what the up official has.
Laura Bush, Mike Monaco, our whole BTN crew. It's to the benefit of John Cook and Nebraska. Up by 2 here in set 3. It's really the same dump that Hilly went to in set 1 to get a kill. Fecky still serving. Middle for Hart, the attack error off the tape. Timeout, Kelly Sheffield. Nebraska is rolling, they're up by 3. Madison Duello leads the way for Wisconsin. She's got 10 kills. She's got tied for a match high 30 swings as well. She's been busy.
Well, they moved her to the left side for this match. She's hitting out that left side pin and handling herself really well. It's a tough night out there, but she's got a lot of shots in her arsenal and able to hit it off the block. She's also able to have a big block, as we saw right there when she tripled up to stuff Lexi Sun.
It's not a gaudy hitting percentage. It really isn't for anyone on the floor tonight. Both these teams hitting below 100. And it goes back to what Kelly Sheffield said to us this morning here inside the field house. He said, we got to be ready to grind it out against this Nebraska team. And I think the Badgers, would you say they've matched that sort of defensive intensity?
Well, I definitely would say that, especially, you know, they get a first contact, and first contacts on a dig aren't always so perfect. It's how you can manage that second contact and still get a swing. And each team is doing that quite well, but the defense intensity is pretty impressive on either side of the net.
Big block, Hart and Retke. Danielle Hart for the Badgers, and then a service error from Grace Loberg. Back and forth in set 3. Maloney. Good back set and a kill. Dana Retke off an excellent delivery from Sydney Hilly.
That's a nice pack of hitters up there for Wisconsin. You have Hart going in the middle quick. You have Retke on the right side. It's tough for any blocker to figure out where you're going to go and how to protect that net, especially on a perfect pass that Wisconsin gave Sydney Hilly.
Stivrins, wide, point to the Badgers. Well, just back to the point before, too, you talked about how they've thrown a couple blockers at Dana Retke, but because of how well Sydney Hilly set it as well, Stivrins a little bit late getting over there. Good job by Hames handling that one and setting up Lexi Sun.
A nice rhythm to that set for Lexi Sun to get on top of. It's a little bit of a short set. Lexi Sun had her feet there, quick off the floor. Good arm through that ball.
Sun had been hitting negative. She pulls even now with her 7th kill. 7 attackers as well. Billy goes quickly to Hart. She's wide with an attack error of her own. And that's 4. Just really tough sledding attack-wise for both these teams.
Well, they really like to set Hart on that, what we call a gap set, that quick set away from the setter. Try to get in between the right side blocker and the middle blocker and create some space.
Haggerty loads up. Dug by Fecky. Hames to Sun. Off the hands and down. Kill for Lexi Sun, her 8th.
Really good defense here by Nebraska. But what I like to see from Lexi Sun, and I think it might be beneficial for a lot of hitters tonight when you have a big block in front of them and good defense behind that block, is start using those hands to your advantage on the block. Start using the edges of it, use the high hands, get it past the defense where it's hard to recover to give yourself a point.
Down ball is an attack error for Molly Haggerty. Timeout, Kelly Sheffield. So it's a big weekend for Nebraska. They're here in Madison tonight. They go to Minneapolis tomorrow to match up with the number 3 team in the country. It was fall break earlier this week in Lincoln, so John Cook did something a little bit different. He gave his team Monday off, and he took them to a horse farm as well, and it was an awesome experience for not just the players. John Cook loved it as well.
It was really refreshing to hear him speak about the experience at the horse farm and how the kids became engaged with the horses, but what he thought about it, how he took the analogy of working with horses, how you behave around a horse. If you have a negative attitude around a horse is going to shy away from you, and talked about that with his team. You know, when you make a bad pass, when things aren't going your way, you can't have bad body language. No one wants to be around you, but also as a coach with a young team, the patience that's going to be required by him and the entire staff on how you lead them through and teach them about the culture of your program, but also how to manage the whole season. It was really nice to hear, and you know, just another student of the game, which I think all the coaches in the Big Ten are.
And a really cool area of the realm with some of the therapy that you can do there as well. Good stuff from John Cook and his players, who come into this one right in the thick of things, as they always are in the Big Ten. But again, they've had a couple losses recently. We update the standings. Nebraska at 6-2. Everyone's chasing Minnesota, which was victorious at home at the PAV tonight. Penn State, after that 0-2 start, they hadn't done that since 2000 in the Big Ten. They've rattled off 7 in a row, and I don't know if anyone is surprised by that.
I don't think anyone's surprised by Penn State being successful. As you get a team going, and you know, we talked about this earlier, we're going to repeat it again. Every team is getting better every week. And as we hit this halfway mark in the Big Ten season, it starts to separate even more on who's going to stay the course, who's going to continue to adapt and improve, and who's going to keep fighting for that Big Ten title.
We asked Kelly Sheffield point blank about where his team is. He said he thought that they'd be a little better at this point. Somewhat disappointing was what he said, with the 3 Big Ten losses so far. Off the attack error, Nebraska up by 4. Haggerty off target. Sheffield's team took the first set. Nebraska answered in set 2, cleaned up the serving. And the Cornhuskers by 4 in set 3. Tiana Williams. Nicely done on the slide.
We have not said her name very much tonight. Looks like her 10th attempt. Got a kill. Managed that slide very quickly to the cross court of Nebraska side.
The only senior on Wisconsin's roster. She's played in all but 2 matches in her career. Picked up her kills per set numbers in her last 5 matches. Nice roll shot from Lexi Sun.
Nice off-speed shot by Alexi Sun. Just falls in the belly of the defense of Wisconsin. Tough to push your way there when it falls in the middle of a lot of players.
Up to 9 kills now. The sophomore from Encinitas, California, just outside of San Diego. Wisconsin some trouble on the serve receive.
A little bit of miscommunication back there at Wisconsin. Not something you like or get used to. A little frustration happening, figuring that out. Who's going to take the ball, who's going to call it and actually take it.
Sun serving. 6 rotation outside hitter. Nice set for Fecky. And Michaela Fecky and the Cornhuskers putting on an excellent display here in set 3.
Really nice shot by Fecky. And again, it's, you know, we know she can hit hard, she can hit down, but when she takes a little bit off, still uses her maximum jump, that becomes tough to defend because you're not quite sure as a defender what you're going to see. Is it going to be really hard this time? Is it going to come off the block? Starts owning the defense of the opponent.
3-0 run for Nebraska, up by 6. Hilly to Haggerty. Dug by Sun. Really nicely done to Hames. Hilly on the back set. Blocked. Kept up by Hilly. Got her legs out of the way of dodge. Hames to the dunk. Handled by Wisconsin. Slammed home by Stivrins. Set point on the way.
Nice rally right here. Good play by Hames, almost down. A little bit of an overpass. Stivrins takes care of it. I think Wisconsin was hoping that the ball, that Stivrins was in the net a little bit.
Stivrins piloting an 8-1 scoring run for Nebraska. Kelly Sheffield has not been thrilled with some of the calls in set 3 here. Haggerty, blocked. 2 sets in a row for Nebraska. So Laura Bush will ask you, what started clicking for Nebraska?
Well, Nebraska really started reducing their unforced errors. You know, we saw in that first set, if we started in the first set, those 7 service errors, a ton of attacking errors, will not allow any team to get into a rhythm. And they settled that down in the second set. And then I think we're starting to see the Nebraska playing a style of volleyball they're used to. The serving was good. They started hitting the ball better by reducing errors. And Wisconsin helped them out a little bit too. They started making some errors that we did not see in the first set. And just seeing it shift a little teeter-totter right there.
13 attack errors for Wisconsin in set 3. Negative 116 hitting percentage in that set. And meanwhile, Nebraska really started to heat up as set 3 wore on. Top 10 matchup here in Madison tonight. The match of the night across the country. We're glad you're with us. Michaela Fecky and number 5 Nebraska trying to get back in the win column. Had the 5-set loss at Penn State on Saturday. On the road once again, another top 10 foe. Hilly sets Grace Loberg. Ames gets to it, now Fecky. Nice communication with Hilly and Haggerty. Duello. Blocked. Wisconsin out of system. Nebraska blocks it.
Wisconsin's changed their lineup a little bit. Trying to get some more activity in the offense. Clean it up. Have a new look that Nebraska's going to have to respond to.
Duello tried the wrist away. And the point to Nebraska. These Badgers just trying to find some sort of answers. They've moved Loberg around here at the outset of set 4.
Well, they don't have to get a kill on the first time that they go up for it. And I think they're pressing it a little bit right now. And they want to manage that rallies, and they can win it on their second attack or their third attack.
On the overpass. And the point will go to the Badgers. Wisconsin was just waiting and hoping they would get that call at the net.
Well, I'm watching the faces of the Nebraska coaching staff right here, because this is one of those, this is, you know, I see the ball, I go get the ball. It should just be a straight down kill, and it just didn't go that way. One of those rough nights.
Sun is blocked, and the Badgers with a burst.
It's a nice turnaround by Wisconsin. It's early in this 4th set, but it was feeling not so good just a couple of points ago.
Grace Loberg serves right at Kenzie Maloney. Jazz Sweet. Off the mark, point Badgers. No touch. Here's Loberg again. A tough serve at Lexi Sun. Dug by Clark. Hilly sets Loberg from the back row. Hames called for the double contact.
It's a tough set. It's out of system. Slips from one hand to the other for Hames. Going to get called on double contact for that.
Loberg with her second service error. Flip side of that, John Cook's team, since they had those 7 service errors in set 1, 5 aces, only 1 error serving. Hilly back to Haggerty. Maloney's bump set for Sun, into the block. Dana Retke is fired up. She's up to 8 blocks tonight.
Well, the lineup that Wisconsin has in right now is a lineup we've seen a lot during the season, where Duello's opposite Sydney Hilly. She's blocking twice with Dana Retke. And now that's a different matchup for Lexi Sun to have to deal with than what she has seen the previous 3 sets. And there's got to be some adjustments made on the Nebraska side of the net on the offense, because the matchups are different and hitters are going to have to change their shots, because what was available before is just going to look differently than what it was.
8 blocks, but another service error for Retke. (5-4) Wisconsin in set 4. Densberger right at Haggerty. Duello. How about that quick rise?
That's a great play for her. It's fun to watch her come through that middle. It's got a lot of room over the left side of the court for Nebraska. Sees it, takes advantage of it.
She's got a match-high 11 kills. Loberg got a piece of it. Can Clark get there? She does. Hilly, free ball, gets it over. Great effort from the Badgers, but Lexi Sun rejects Tiana Williams.
It's a phenomenal chase down here by Tiffany Clark, going off the court to make a play. Good third contact by Hilly. And the swing just didn't go Tiana Williams' way. Lexi Sun was right there and shoved it back down.
Here in the first row of the student section, you gotta look out. Tiffany Clark coming straight at you. Nebraska back even 6-all. Here it is, Tiffany Clark looking like she could suit up for Paul Christ. Good little hit there in the front row. She has really done well these last couple weeks. Got that libero jersey back on, a service error from Lexi Sun. Here's Molly Haggerty. Goes short, Sun gets to it. Becky, her 9th kill. She's tied with Sun for the team lead.
It's a good time for the senior to get the ball. Good pass by Lexi Sun. Good finish by Michaela Becky. Off the hands, just a little too hard to dig for Wisconsin after it rattles through that block.
Approaching a double-double for Fecky, who this season is hitting a career-best .317 as one of the outside hitters. Loberg, long. Nebraska, though, called for the net violation, so the point to the Badgers. Ever so slight. Clark. Nice job again by Hames. Hooked that one up. Loberg's got a rocket of a right arm. Hilly to Retke on the slide. They run that slide as quick as anyone in the conference.
And it's such a quick play on where this first contact is made on Wisconsin's side. So it's right there. It's a pretty fast pass. Retke works hard to get herself off the net, get herself turned around, back into the offense on the slide.
Bump set from Sun to Fecky. Loberg digs it. Haggerty from the back row off the tape. Maloney's bump set to Fecky for the kill. Fecky into double digits. She's got the double-double.
Each coaching staff, I think, is just willing their team to start managing your game, manage that first contact. Start playing a little bit cleaner. It's gonna be a lot easier for you.
Dodge takes the first contact. Now Loberg. Off the touch for the kill. Just the second kill for Grace Loberg.
And what a big point for her. I mean, we haven't seen her through the front row at all until this fourth set, and she comes in off the bench, only playing back row, being able to take some nice swings, making a difference offensively.
Badgers now up by 3. You know, with Loberg, she has missed a couple matches this season, but when she's in there, the sophomore from Geneva, Illinois, she has really powered things. Got hot at the end of last year as a true freshman. Carried that into her sophomore year. Hames back set for Fecky. Ripped it right at Clark. Loberg from Haggerty for the kill.
This is a tough ball to manage as an outside hitter. There's a ball coming over the back of your right side shoulder. You're kind of blind to what's going on in the net. She shoves it over, found a place for it to land. Way to stay in the fight.
Bump set from Hames to Fecky. Really good swing out of that.
Good response after that last play by her. She's a little frustrated with how that worked, the previous play. Quiets the crowd a little bit with that swing.
Fecky can get going serving as well. She's 4th in the Big Ten in aces per set, part of this great Nebraska serving squad. Loberg. Grace Loberg making her presence known in set 4.
And again, for Nebraska, they're having to get used to a different hitter in front of them. Not only a different block, but also a different hitter that they haven't seen the entire match.
Hames sets the middle for Schwarzenbach wide with that wrist away shot. And a timeout, Nebraska. Wisconsin on the big scoring run at home, trying to even it up in set 4 against Nebraska. Inside the field house, Wisconsin on a run in set 4. A lot of it has to do with Grace Loberg. What have you seen from the sophomore here in this set?
Well, she's made such a tremendous difference playing in the front row with how she's attacking but also blocking and the energy that she brings. And it's a nice change-up by Coach Sheffield to give a freshman a break. Give, your outside hitter that's used to being in the court a chance to go around the front row. But also, for those young players out there, the patience of you can come off the bench and make a difference. And sometimes that's the biggest role you can have. It's not that you're always starting all the time or playing the role that you wanted to play, but you can make a difference, and it's definitely working in the favor of Loberg tonight as well as for Wisconsin.
Well, after the block from Haggerty and company, Loberg commits her 3rd service error. Nebraska leads this 2-1. Grab the 2nd and 3rd sets. Both of those by at least 6 points. A road test for Kenzie Maloney and her squad. Hilly, a back set to the middle. Duello had pinched in there, and the point goes to the Badgers.
Good shot by Duello right there, and just a mismanagement of the ball with the hands by Fecky.
Retke long. Service errors piling up for her and Loberg. Really worked on that from last year into this year, into her sophomore season. Bumped up that percentage of serves in, as we told you earlier, into the low 90s. Densberger. Right at Tiffany Clark. That is tough if you're trying to take that, and a great serve from Densberger.
I think Tiffany Clark might have thought it was out a little bit too late, and that indecision is just enough to create an error and a point for Nebraska.
Duello comes flying for the kill. Right in front of the Nebraska bench.
She is so effective on this play, and that, you know, Lexi Sen's chasing Tiana Williams out there on that slide, and it opens up just that left side of the Nebraska court for Duello to attack.
It's tough serve from Duello, now Sunk. Hilly sets Haggerty. Maloney dove for it, but the point to the Badgers. Gotta love the hustle on both sides.
Strong swing by Haggerty, and Fecky gets her arm and get on it, just flips back too far for Maloney to be able to recover.
Haggerty, off the block, coverage there from Clark. Back row Loberg. And Stivrins, a really nice adjustment at the net. Duello comes flying in for another kill. Madison Duello.
And that's a nice back row attack, which we haven't seen at all from the Wisconsin offense. We have Duello back there serving, playing that right back. Can become a part of the offense right now for this rotation.
What a shot from the redshirt junior out of Kansas City. Hilly goes quick to Williams on the slide. Aims to Sunk. Dug out. Great rally on both sides. Hilly's bump set. Here's Haggerty. Off the block and down for Molly Haggerty.
A little bit of an underwhelming shot by Haggerty, but those balls fall just as well as the hard hit shot. Nice play, tough to manage off the block for Stivrins.
Timeout, Nebraska. So the Badgers up by 8 in set 4. Contributions from all over, but of course the headliner, as always, in the middle is Dana Retke. She's got 9 kills. She's up to 300 hitting.
Well, she's just a force, and we just see her doing so well again in the front row. And Nebraska knows the ball's going to go to her. And even though they know the ball's going to go to her, they're not able to put enough hands across the net to stop her. When she's not hitting, she is controlling the net with her blocking. Pressed over, takes out the angles. Tough player to play against, but one of the best ones in the Big Ten.
Dana Retke, the sophomore for Wisconsin from Riverside, Illinois. Southwest of Chicago. We know all about the great season she had last year. Second in the Big Ten this year in hitting percentage, above 400. Like we said earlier, only behind Taylor Morgan of Minnesota. Well, speaking of the Gophers, tomorrow on BTN, Michaela Fecky and Nebraska, they will head on in their road trip out to Minneapolis. A showdown with number 3 Minnesota. Big Ten volleyball powered by American Ethanol. It is next, coming up tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. BTN and the Fox Sports app. We showed you the standings earlier. Minnesota is now 9-0. Their best start in the Big Ten since 1999. And they've won 10 matches in a row.
Well, they just keep getting better and better every time I've watched them. And I think the most impressive thing that I've seen about Minnesota is how they're handling their defense and their improvement behind their block to keep that ball alive, and then it gets to a kill.
Minnesota had the 4-set win over Nebraska in Lincoln. As you said earlier, John Cook can't even look that far ahead. He told us after the second set he might have a long night in store. And right now the Badgers up by 7 in set 4, trying to force a 5th set. Good performance in this 4th set by Kelly Sheffield's team. Number 9 in the country, searching for a marquee win here at home. Lexi Sun behind the line. Hilly to the dunk. Read well by Lexi Sun. Fecky. They go back to her. Last one right at Emmy Dodge. Here's Fecky a 3rd time. Pass Loberg for the kill. Michaela Fecky with 12 now on 41 swings.
Michaela Fecky seems to consistently come up with the big kill when Nebraska needs it. She's in this rally a lot and finishes with that hard hit shot high off the hands past the Wisconsin defense.
So Kelly Sheffield, after a couple Nebraska points, takes the timeout. The Badgers trying to even it up, force a 5th set. This was the top 10 earlier this week. As it stands heading into the beginning of next week, we might see some changes. Who knows how this weekend goes, but the top 13 teams, at least in the poll this week, stayed the same. A little bit of shuffling in the order. Kelly Sheffield said to us today he thinks there is a very clear top 3 teams in the country.
And he thinks those top 3 teams are going to be tough to topple and have them come down. I mean, they're going to have to do something to themselves for them to come off those high marks. So the rest of the nation gets to battle it out to figure out who's going to be number 4 through 10 or however it's going to finish for the Final 4. But he's pretty sure about those top 3 teams. I mean, he did not blink an eye when he said there are 3 top teams, and we all know who that is.
Big block for Nebraska out of the timeout. Well, hey, we got a long way to go, but we haven't had a first-time national champion, so a new national champ, since 2005, Washington. We got some firepower at the top of those national polls we just showed you. Lexi Sun. It's a 3-0 scoring run for the Cornhuskers. Tiana Williams puts an end to that.
Nice to see Tiana Williams in the offense. We haven't said her name much, but when she has been given the ball by Sydney Hilly, she's done a nice job of terminating the ball.
Ames on the back set, blocked, sent over by Fecky. Loberg, dug by Densberger. Bump set Hames to Fecky. A lot of swings here in set 4 for the senior. Loberg long. Nebraska within 5 here in set 4, trying to inch closer.
There's a really nice dig by Tiffany Clark to start that series on Wisconsin's side. It just didn't finish the way they wanted to. And you know what Wisconsin doesn't want to do is to allow Nebraska to get back into this set because they're making unforced errors.
That was the issue for Wisconsin in set 3. They had 13 attack errors in that set alone. Hilly to Williams, nice tip right at the net. That is a response.
Good play by Tiana Williams. Stivrins was back there serving. Knew that a middle blocker was back there in defense and left back, and Tiana Williams made the defense pay.
Sitting beside a former 6 rotation middle in Laura Bush. Always gave up the body. Good recovery from Nebraska. Little free ball sent over by Hames. Wisconsin now up by 7 here in set 4.
Good management of that play, and again, the ball goes to Retke, and she gets the final kill. Such a powerful hitter.
He had 19 kills against Illinois on Saturday. The most swings in any one match she had had in her career. 46 in that one against Chris Thomas's Fighting Illini. How about Fecky? She's got a lot of shots in the bag. She just blasts that one.
Really good shot down the line. And, you know, she's a hitter that she can overpower the defense. She can hit it just a little to the side of the defense to make a move, and it's hard to handle. And then she can take some speed off, and it's not where the defense wants to have to move to get the ball. Lots of weapons.
Service error from Haynes. Set point for Wisconsin. Badgers faithful to their feet. Want to see if Wisconsin can send us to a 5th set. Hilly serves. Tough one right at Sun. Haynes to the middle for Schwarzenbach. Loberg for the kill. We will have a 5th set tonight in Madison. Back and forth we go. Nebraska and Wisconsin to the 5th after this. We are on our way to the 5th set. The defending national champion Cornhuskers, Wisconsin. The Badgers battled back in set 4, and Grace Loberg keyed it.
Well, what a nice change in the lineup that Kelly Sheffield had going into set 4. Loberg had been a back row specialist for them previously in these 3 previous sets. Comes in, makes a big difference in the front row what they're attacking. Not only is she still serving the back row and passing and taking on that role, she added that attacking and blocking in the front row, and it definitely charged the Wisconsin Badgers up, and they started hitting a lot more efficiently. The best hitting percentage that they had as a team in the sets already played, and I imagine that Coach Sheffield will keep the same lineup going into this 5th set.
Yeah, Nebraska hit 0 in that 4th set. Meanwhile, Wisconsin hit 242, only 6 attack errors compared to the 13 that they had in set 3. 3rd time John Cook's Cornhuskers go to a 5th set this season, 1-1 in the first couple. 2nd time for the Badgers. They haven't had to do that much this year. They suffered the loss earlier in the Big Ten schedule on the road out in Iowa City to Bon Szymanski's Hawkeyes. So we've talked about the Wisconsin side of it, what they did differently in set 4. How about Nebraska now? What do you do to counter back here with the chess move in the 5th set?
Well, now that you have a set underneath your belt of seeing what probably Wisconsin's going to do in the 5th set, you make some adjustments on your side on how you're going to manage the blocking side of it, but a lot of it is reduce the errors. Take good swings, manage the serving game. You're still going to have to pass, but it's going to be who's going to reduce the errors and still take the big swings to get the kills.
It's now 6 of the last 8 matches, Laura, between these two teams that have gone 4 or more sets. We are not surprised by this. We are buckled up, ready to go in the Fieldhouse in set 5. Nice job by Maloney and Sweet to get that one up. Now Hilly, back set again, Retke for the kill to start out the 5th set. Retke approaching a double-double. 9 blocks, 11 kills. Sophomore, a first-team All-American last year. Now her classmate, the setter, Sydney Hilly. Serving again. Haynes went back to Sweet, and it's blocked. Dana Retke right there with Grace Loberg. It's a BTN standout presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
It's a nice front row for Wisconsin to be in the 5th set right now.
Now Loberg up there playing a bigger role these last couple sets. Hilly to the middle for Retke, blocked, kept alive and tipped over. Sun. Haggerty sets Duello. Hilly goes right back to the redshirt junior, blocked again. Maloney, a bump set for Jazz Sweet. Long. Great start for the Badgers in set 5.
The Badgers are doing a great job on the blocking end, but also managing their hitting game. They're not a very high air team right now, and we're seeing Nebraska still making those unforced errors.
Lexi Sun. Great shot down the line. Got the touch.
This is a good bounce back for Lexi Sun in the offense of Nebraska. Finding a way to get it down the line and enough power, just a little bit awkward enough that it becomes a kill.
Double digits now for the sophomore in the San Diego area. Bump set from Hilly. Loberg. Hilly goes right back to Loberg. Hames to the left pin for Sun. Loberg kept it up. Haggerty sends it over. Great swing, Clark digs it. Go to rally here. Fecky out of the back row for the kill. Michaela Fecky fired up.
Nice defense on each side of the net, but you just knew that whoever was going to get the next really hard swing was probably going to get the kill and the point. Fecky came through out of the back row and did just that.
Look at that calm disposition. Set 5 on the road. Loberg. Good block. Nicklin Hames beside Stivrins.
Nice press over by her. Took that angle really well. Good form with her hands. Strong in the shoulders.
5'10", the setter in the front row blocking. John Cook has said this season she's got really good vision. She knows the positioning as well, so for her size, she's done a pretty good job blocking. And how good is this? Tied up 3-3, set 5. Still a long way to go here in Madison. Densberger serves. Retke for the kill. Fecky couldn't get there.
Nice decision by Hilly right there. One-on-one. Duello had been really successful hitting that 2-ball in the middle. Retke was finally one-on-one, and Hilly took advantage of it. Retke got the kill.
Hames on the back set. Stivrins, nice tip over the top on the slide.
Good changeup right here. Get the defense a little off balance. We haven't seen her tip a lot in this game, at least on the slide. Does a changeup and it works.
Hilly's bump set to Duello. Outside Fecky. Haggerty off hands. Bump set Hames. Dug out by Loberg. Haggerty.
Really phenomenal pursuit right here by Loberg, getting her platform behind it. Good use of the block by Haggerty on the left side. Nice dig to kill right there.
Kelly Sheffield said, we got to be ready to grind. They've got a season-high 85 digs tonight in total here in set 5. Haggerty tips it. Densberger couldn't get there. Badgers by 2.
Left sides for Wisconsin are starting to get those kills right there. Good decision to go back to Haggerty. Let her keep hitting away. She's got the hot hand.
Fecky rips it right at Retke in the back row. Nice dig by Maloney. Can Sun get there? Set over! My goodness! Point to the Badgers. Nebraska thought they got it up after they had already done so on the bench. It's another BTN standout presented by Auto Owners.
Phenomenal pursuit there by Lexi Sun, and just the awareness of Maloney of turning to the ball. Comes right at her head, or right near her knees actually, and stabs it over, and Wisconsin still got that point at the end. Good patience with the attack and staying in the court.
All right, so we're going to get a challenge here from Nebraska. Remember, John Cook used a couple earlier. He had one left, and when you go to the fifth set, you get another. Based on the entire reaction of Nebraska's players, they certainly thought that they kept this up.
Well, if any part of the ball hits the floor, the ball is down. So we got to see that if any part of the ball hit the floor, even if it hit part of Hames' hand. I think she might have gotten it. Well, she didn't get it.
I think it was down.
You think it was down?
I do. And the point's going to stay with Wisconsin. She was really close. And the point goes to the Badgers. So they're up by 3 here in set 5. Man, just incredible effort by Nebraska. Maloney somehow got it back over. John Cook had to vacate the premises. Tensberger, nice job handling that serve. And then Lauren Stivrins, big time response there from one of the middles.
Really nice decision by Hames to send it behind her. She's going forward, able to open up some space.
Let's see if Nebraska goes on a run on the road here in Madison. Duello, long. Nebraska within 1.
That's a rare air for Duello coming out of the middle. She is so lethal on that play. Just a little bit long.
Great work by our BTN crew. Got our share of challenges, close calls tonight. Duello. Badgers back in front by 2. Wisconsin has answered back. They won set 4. They lead in set 5. John Cook's team searching for some answers against Kelly Sheffield and the Badgers. Wisconsin leads in set 5. 27 of its 50 kills belong to these two.
And they should. I mean, these two are really managing that contact, the third contact, really well. They're finding ways to get the ball past not only the Nebraska block, which is stellar and has been stellar, but also to the floor before the Nebraska defense can get a hand on it. And we knew it was going to be a grind for them offensively, and they're managing it.
Saw the block total for Retke. It's her second career double-double. It's an ace serve for Wisconsin out of the timeout. Hames to Fecky, found some hands. Haggerty rolls it over. Nebraska prepared for that today at its practice. Nice dig by a tumbling Clark. Fecky loads up on another. Here's the overpass. Hames to the dunk. Hames sets Fecky, off speed. Hilly. Hames got there. What an excellent rally. Fecky, off hands for the kill. Nebraska within 2.
So in that rally, I believe if I counted correctly, Fecky went up 5 times and hit the ball. 5 times. No one else got the ball except for the one time Hames took it over on the second contact. She did good work in transition. A lot of good work, but it would really help out the offense if those middles could get involved, and maybe that's just not what the plan is, but that's a lot of good work from your senior outside hitter.
John Cook got his middles involved a lot early on, especially in set one. Lexi Sun was carrying a lot of the load in the first few sets, and it's been Fecky these last few. Dug by Maloney. That was a big cross-court swing. Hilly out to Haggerty. Tries line this time. Lexi Sun tried to get there again. Ran out of room.
What a powerful swing down the line by Haggerty, and just a little too much to manage back there for Nicklin Hames.
Wisconsin 10, Nebraska 7, set 5. Becky, long.
Nice pass. Good contact, just a little too deep.
Timeout, John Cook. Wisconsin up by 4 and 4 points away in set 5. A top 10 matchup. Stick with us after this. Hats off to the student section here at the Fieldhouse tonight in Madison. Some late night action we're coming up on 11 p.m. local time. Locked in an excellent match. What else do you expect when a couple top 10 teams get together in the Big Ten? This is the 9th top 10 matchup of the season between Big Ten opponents. You see the set breakdown. Wisconsin got off to a good start. Nebraska settled in after some serving woes early. Kelly Sheffield's team made a change in set 4. They get an ace serve here, and they're up by 5. Timeout, Nebraska.
Right now, the offense for Nebraska is just going through Michaela Fecky, or it's going out to the pins. And I don't know if that's going to change in the 5th set. You know, it's like we can wish it or things we coulda, woulda, shoulda done. But Michaela Fecky has been so effective. I don't think it's such a bad decision to give her the ball a lot and ride that senior as long as you can to try to get those points.
It's going to be a late night for Nebraska when they get to Minneapolis later on tonight. Top 5 matchup tomorrow, powered by American Ethanol. Jazz Sweet with the kill. Hadn't heard from her in a long time. She's hitting negative today with 10 errors. That's her 6th kill, though, in a really big spot.
And that's a good time to get it. It is so tough, I think, to block a lefty on the left-hand side. And she's been doing a great job this year. She's just been a little quiet in tonight's match.
So where do you go if you're Nebraska? You got 4 points of a deficit right now.
Well, I'm looking at that block, and I think I would take Lexi Sun over Sydney Hilly right now, if I'm able to get the attack.
Becky with a service error. The 11th tonight for Nebraska. They had 7 in set 1. Hadn't had many since. Tiffany Clark, one of the captains. Sun. Loberg tip try, got it over the block. Match point on the way. Hames, Jazz Sweet, it's over. Wisconsin knocks off Nebraska. In come-from-behind fashion, it was a 2-1 deficit for the Badgers after set 3. A great last 2 sets from number 9, Wisconsin.